Okay, so today we're going to talk about adding content to your shiny new WordPress site. And from the dashboard that we toured the other day, it's pretty simple. Whether you're adding it as content on a post or a page, the process is fairly the same. So we're just going to look at a page for right now, but the interface will be the same on both. So if you want to see a list of all of the pages, you can click on All Pages. If you don't have any pages yet, or you're working on if you don't have any pages yet, there wouldn't be any here. If you want to make a new page, you can go to the Pages, Add New here, or when you're on the Pages list, Add New, or you can even go up here to this plus sign and go to New Page. Any of them will take you to the same place, which is the New Page Editor. You're going to enter your title here. And if you have your permalinks set to do post title, it's actually going to, when it does the first autosave here, it'll actually pull in your page title and put that in down here as your permalink. And then if you wanted to edit it to add keywords or something like that, you can edit it right from there. So it won't actually change the page title up here. This is what people will see as the page title when they look at the page, but this becomes the URL, the actual link to that page. Okay, so down here in our standard editing window, this should look pretty familiar if you've used any sort of word processor, Google Drive, Microsoft Word, whatever it's called on Macs. I'm sorry, I forget I don't use a Mac, so I don't remember these things, but it's all fairly similar looking. You can just type in your content here. And if you had content from somewhere else, say you started working on it in Word or Google Drive or something like that, you can copy and paste it into here. So you can just use your standard Control V, or you can do paste as text, this button here, this little clipboard. And what that actually does is if you're copying in from like Microsoft Word that might add some extra formatting code that can kind of screw with things, this will actually strip all of that extra formatting code out. You'll get a little update. And we'll just paste it in there. Okay, so now we have our text in here. And then we've got an option for bold here or italics. Strike through, we'll put the line through it. We've got a bulleted list or a numbered list. You can make something a quote, a block quote. You can add a horizontal line under it. These are your orientations, or your alignments, left, center, or right. If you highlight an area that you want to make a link to something, when you have something highlighted, you can go up here to make a link. You can give it a title. And this title here is more for screen readers and things like that, and also good for SEO, good opportunity to put in keywords for SEO. This isn't so much necessarily seen or used by a visitor to your site unless they are vision impaired and are using assistive technology that will read this to them, and it would basically be a description of where the link is for. If we had a link and you wanted maybe this part to not have the link, you can go up here to the remove link part. The read more tag is used to insert a manual break in a blog post. If you have a long blog post and you want just a little bit to show up, you could manually say, okay, this is the point where I want the read more tag to show up. I don't use it that much. I don't honestly know a lot of people that do, but that may be your cup of tea. If you're not seeing the second line here, try clicking this button at the end. It's the toolbar toggle. It used to be called the kitchen sink. Now they just call it the toolbar. So if you hear somebody refer to the kitchen sink, that's what they're talking about. And with that, you get some other options. So this one here will let you designate an entire paragraph as a paragraph text, just your basic body text. Is it a heading 1, heading 2, heading 3? I will caution you that you should not necessarily try to resize things using this, because these can have a different impact on SEO and how search engines interpret the importance of different elements in your content. So if all you're looking to do is resize things, there's other ways to do that. Don't necessarily use the heading tags for that. The other thing to keep in mind is what you see here, whether it's the font, whether it's the color of the strike-through text, or how the block quote is displayed, may not be the same as how it's actually going to appear on the front end of your site, the live part of your site, depending on the styles set by your theme. So just something to keep in mind. You can, from the back end here, this is underline, this is justify, justified alignment. I would stay away from justified alignment. It's generally frowned on and actually seems to make it harder for people to read things, to the best of my recollection. This button here will let you change the text color, and this will be the same on the front end. If you select blue, it's going to look blue on the front end regardless of what your style, your theme styles are set to be, because this is just a local edit. Things like a header tag or block quotes and stuff like that can be set with the theme and not necessarily, and a little bit harder to override. So we made this in H2, but if I look at it on the front, it might be purple and centered rather than black and left aligned, and might be a bigger or smaller font or a different font or whatever when we look at it in the front. So if you're having trouble figuring out how to undo the formatting that you did, you can do clear formatting. And that would be more for something like this for all of our colored stuff. And it just takes all of that extra stuff away. So it's not going to change the type of thing that it is. It's not going to change. This is an H2. It's not going to make that go back to a paragraph. But if it was an H2 that we had centered, and we've got some purple in here, and we'll make this italics, and all of it underlined, and we looked at this, so we have all this crazy stuff going on here, and rather than picking and choosing each individual little bit to undo it, we just go with clear formatting, and it takes it back to the basics. This is to insert special characters. This is handy if you're looking to put in copyright symbol, your registered, and the ampersand. Here's your trademark symbol. So all of those kind of symbols that are hard to remember the ASCII code for, those are all in here. You can even do, I love this. I love the fact that symbols always include the card suits. I think that's entertaining. But anyway, you can indent a paragraph. So this would be to increase the indent. This button takes it back. This only affects the left margin. It does not affect the right margin. And then, of course, you have undo. So let's take a look. I'm going to save our draft over here. And let's preview it and take a look at what it looks like on the front of our site. So there's our bold italic strike through. This is what the theme sets a block quote to look for. It increases the margin and puts this little quotation mark there. There's our line we did. So this we made a link, which is why it's showing up red like that. There's our H2 text, our other stuff. As you can see, it all looks, the font is different, but other than that, the treatments that we've added to it are all fairly same. So let's go back into our editor. So now we have this, so we can either save it, continue working on it and keep saving it as a draft, or we can publish it so that it will be live immediately. The other option that you can do is to schedule when you want it to be able to be visible to people. So you're working on it, great, but it's not actually needed until tomorrow. You could change that date and record it and set it to publish then. And then when you do that, this will change to scheduled for, and the button that used to say publish, that's basically your okay, I'm done, will change to schedule. Some other things that you have done here, you'll see with pages, you can set a page as a child of another page. You can decide, depending on your theme, there might be different templates available to you. So my theme has an archive, a different format for the archive pages, a different format for the blog page, and a different landing page format. You can select those. And then there's some other plugins that are things happening down here that are based on either your plugin or your theme. So this layout settings comes from the Genesis theme that I'm using. The WordPress SEO by Yoast. There's all of my SEO things that I can enter. This scripts is another Genesis thing, I think. And if you would prefer these to be in a different order, you can drag these around down here too. And then you can also set a featured image for each page or post. I highly recommend the featured image for blog posts, especially since most themes that you're buying these days or that would be created for you are set to accommodate a featured image. So you want to make sure that you include that. And we'll go over that part in just a second. Okay, so let's talk about the featured image here for a minute. We're going to cover working with images, uploading, linking, moving, all of that other fun stuff with images tomorrow. But for today, I just want to show you real quick how to deal with the featured image. So you're going to click on the Set Featured Image. If it's a picture that you've already uploaded, you'll be able to grab it from your library. If it hasn't already been uploaded, and you could select it here. If it hasn't already been uploaded, you can go over to this Upload Files and select File, and this will bring open the browser that you have, your file browser, so that you can select the image. And then you can put in some information for it over here. But as I said, we will talk more about uploading pictures and such tomorrow and what to do with them once you have them. So in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and leave this as published. And I'll actually put a link to it in the post for today. Not that you really need to see my random gibberish that I've just been telling you about for the last 10 minutes, but if you wanted to take a look at it, you would certainly be able to. So that's the video for today. If you have any questions, please head on over to the Facebook group or leave a comment on the post, and I will be happy to try to answer your questions and get you back up to speed. Thanks for joining the challenge. Take care and have a great day.